Welcome, friends of Speak Your Courage. I'm Travis Marker. Thank you for joining me on this journey where we explore vulnerability and engage in meaningful conversations between you, our family, friends, educators, colleagues, and the LGBTQ plus community. As we travel down different paths, we'll keep our discussions genuine and relaxed, sharing stories, laughter, and making positive impact on lives along the way. Hey everyone, Travis here with Speak Your Courage. Welcome back. I took a little hiatus. I know I just started this and I've already taken a hiatus, but mentally, I have to prepare myself. Like I said before, it's scary jumping into podcasts and putting yourself out there. All right, so I thought today, one of the things that I'm asked a lot is, why am I doing this? And I kind of hem-haw around. I have it very clear in my head. It doesn't always come out that clear. So I thought today I would talk about the why behind this. First and foremost, my my mother says, when I was born, I came out talking and I never shut up. So I think that started. So we're going to start with birth, basically. She's accurate. I don't know that I have shut up. You could ask friends and everybody. Although we don't like to use the word shut up. So, anyways, um, I would say that I took that and made a living off of it. So my entire career has been in learning development, talent management, talent development, the development of employees in the corporate world. A few different industries out there, but basically it's all about helping others become better employees. It's about communication. It's about vulnerability. It's about all the things that I've talked about in the few podcasts that I've done before today. So the best thing to do is take that to another level and take that out of the corporate world and take that into something I find passionate about, which is just having a conversation with somebody. So that's one, right? Number two, I'm part of the LGBTQ plus community. I'm a gay man, and I don't think we talk about that enough. I know you hear it on TV and you hear it's on TV and on social media. I agree. We probably don't ever not hear about it. But when it comes to actual conversations and having a conversation with your mother or your sister, your partner about things that matter about being gay, I am a gay man, saying the words, I am a gay man, I am a lesbian, I am trans, whatever it may be. I don't think we do it enough. And we definitely don't go into the why behind many of the things that have happened to us in our life, many of the paths that we've actually taken, and we don't show that side. We don't open up. We don't show that vulnerability. We don't create that trust with somebody. My thought is because of fear. So we'll talk about that in a minute. So that's two. My upbringing and this passion about we need to talk more. And I would say then the third one is it's personal to me. It's self-satisfaction about creating something that's brand new and putting myself out there to see, can I do this? Can I talk to strangers? Can I be vulnerable with people? Others? Can I create others? That didn't make any sense. But can I create conversations with other people? Um, and then in the end, it helps somebody. Words hurt. Words cause suicide. Words cause homicide. Words cause anxiety, depression, and everything else. So, how do we change that and lessen some of that? So, I would say those are the three reasons why I'm actually doing this. Some of you may have heard me say, I've always wanted to write a book, and this is my step into writing that book. So, that is a true statement. But I think the first three are really the reasons as to why I'm doing that. So I'm going to break that down just a little bit. I talked about fear. One of the things that we always say when it comes to vulnerability is why can't we be more vulnerable with people? Why can't I say the full truth, the whole truth to a specific person? It doesn't have to be your partner. Brene Brown says that you need many people in your life. You need somebody that you can talk about work and open up and be vulnerable with, or your professional life. You need somebody on the personal side. And that's not always the same person, but you have to find that person for each one of these. I agree with that. And so you have to find that, open that up, try vulnerability. And I say the reason that we don't do that is fear. In the LGBTQ plus community, I mean, we are bullied, as you heard in my last podcast. We're hit, you're beat, you're shamed, you're kicked out of the house, your family disowns you. You name it, it has happened. And I'm not saying that that doesn't happen to other people as well, but for the gay community, that's prevalent. And that fear keeps me and others from talking and opening up and being a little bit more vulnerable. And so I'm practicing what I preach through this podcast, the last couple, and then the ones that are coming up. I think you'll see some things from me about being vulnerable, and then I hope that you take that away and have that conversation with somebody else. Um, the other thing about that is social media now. It's changed everything. And as I said, words hurt and words matter. And everything we post, I don't know that we always think about what we're actually posting, and especially this, hey, I just grabbed this picture with this meme on it and this saying on it, and then I reposted it to everybody. And that hurts sometimes, depending on what that is. I see lots of anti-gay or comics about this, that, and the other, and then I get told on the other side, oh, well, you're just too fluffy, or you're too emotional, or you need to lighten up. Well, maybe, but I don't like being made fun of. So, uh, you know, easy enough. If your words or your picture might hurt somebody, why would you do it? What do you get joy from that? So, that goes back to fear. Why do I not open up sometimes? Because of what you might say or what you might post. So I say, think about this before you actually post. I'm trying to do the same thing. Think about things before I actually post, but at the same time, not take this to the far extreme. I'm not trying to do that as well. All right, next one. As I'm thinking about this, freedom of speech, we hear that a lot. I am not going to make this podcast political. It is not Dems versus Republicans. It's not anything like that. Because at the end of the day, we're all humans. And it's that side that I think is more important. It's the human side of it. So, how do we get back to that? I'm not saying a balance, and everybody says we need to get along better, but we're always talking in a political sense. Forget the political sense. Just stop talking about that for a little bit and go back to the human side. And how can we be um, compassion, compassionate to each other in the things that we say? One, doesn't it make you feel good when you actually say something to somebody else and it like makes their day, or they're like, "Oh, thank you." Like to me, that just makes me feel wonderful. So instead of posting something, um, keep in mind compassion, and I looped out, I looped around there. I'm gonna go back. Freedom of speech. Yes, you can say anything you want. However, I encourage you, for those of you who have not really read the First Amendment, there are things that are protected. You know, you can't incite violence. Now, hate speech, though, you can say anything you want as long as it does not incite violence. So keep that in mind. But just because the First Amendment says that I can call you a faggot or I'm going to say this word and I don't mean it, and a nigger or anything else, why does that mean that I should do that? Just because the First Amendment says I can do it, so oh my gosh, let me do it? No, I say no. And I hope you say no as well. So all right, I think that's it. I'm looking through my notes over here on the side, and I just feel I've given you my why behind this. Now, I got one more story I'm going to tell. So, when it comes to vulnerability and opening up and fear, right? And we don't open up enough, we don't tell the whole story. I just watched a documentary, I don't know, in the last couple weeks. So, there's a lot out there around Aaron Hernandez. This particular one is around Bristol community. It includes Aaron Hernandez, but it also includes Bristol Community. So if you're looking for some, look for the one that talks about Bristol Community. There were three individuals in high school, all went to school together, all on the same football team. In a picture, they all three are sitting right beside each other. Guess what? They all three are murderers. Two of the three, two of the three, we find out later, are gay. didn't say a word to anybody, got caught in specific, like Aaron, as an example, was caught in a specific circumstance, we'll say, and it resulted in murder, and then eventually he kills himself. Another one is very similar, excuse me, to that, where we end up finding out he's gay, and then he kills and commits suicide as well. So why is it that Aaron or somebody else can't say that? Well, we know Aaron because he's a football player. He's an NFL star. He makes millions of dollars. What would happen if he actually came out? He loses his money. He's chastised, beat, hit, cruel, punishment, bully, whatever it may be in the locker room. Before then, he's just out and doesn't have a team anymore. So you have to weigh the odds. Well, do I not say anything? Do I not say anything, make a living, make a great living, but at the same time, look what it did with the drugs, the alcohol, and then eventually murder, and then eventually suicide. I can't say, and I'm not here to sit here and say that all of that was because of him being gay and he couldn't say anything and he never could come out and so on and so forth. But you know what? I bet it was a piece of it. I bet it was a piece of it. And same thing for the other guy. So, when it comes down to why am I doing this? This is why. I hope that this starts a conversation between you and somebody else. I hope you start building trust with somebody else and not just this trust of, oh, I told you I don't know, bought a pair of shoes and hid them in the closet. That's not trust. That means you bought a pair of shoes and hid them in the closet. I want you to open up and actually say something to somebody that they do not know. So very similar. My last conversation, my last podcast was on bullying. I've got some great ones coming up here as well on things that people don't know because I'm going to practice what I preach. So I hope you will do the same. So your homework today is just that. It is, I gave you my why. I want you to think about what your why is and why you might have a conversation with somebody. Whether it's, I'm going to say something about myself, or it's the other way around and you want to ask them conversations. First, discover your why. So comment, put your why in there. Tell me what you think. If you watch the Aaron Hernandez story, give me your feedback on that. Do you think it had to do with him being gay, or do you disagree? And it's clear over here on this other side. And there were multiple other things that probably caused that. I'd love to hear your feedback on that. So with that, check out your homework. Give me some comments on your homework on Aaron Hernandez. And always remember to speak your courage. Thanks, everyone.